NVIDIA controls 80% of AI chips. Here's how they made themselves impossible to replace. And no, it's not the hardware. The real moat is something Jensen Huang built nearly 20 years ago, when NVIDIA was worth less than a single Manhattan skyscraper. Today it's worth more than the entire German stock market. But here's the contrarian truth most analysts won't say out loud: the real winner of the AI boom isn't even NVIDIA's silicon. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll understand why every challenger, AMD, Intel, Google, even China, keeps slamming into the same invisible wall. And why Wall Street is only now waking up to it. Let's rewind to 2006. NVIDIA was a gaming company. GPUs were for rendering Call of Duty, not training neural networks. Revenue was just over $3 billion. Then Jensen Huang did something that looked completely insane to investors. He bet the entire company on a software platform called CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture. The idea? Let programmers use NVIDIA's gaming chips for general-purpose math, scientific computing, simulations, anything. For years, it bled money. Wall Street hated it. CUDA added cost to every single chip NVIDIA shipped, and almost nobody used it. Analysts called it a distraction. One hedge fund manager reportedly told Jensen to kill it. He refused. But here's where it gets crazy. While everyone laughed, Jensen quietly seeded CUDA into every university computer science department on Earth. Free tools, free libraries, free support for any PhD student who wanted to experiment. By 2012, when a researcher named Alex Krashevsky used two NVIDIA GTX 580 cards to win the ImageNet competition and kick off the modern deep learning revolution, he used CUDA. Of course he did. It was the only thing that worked. That single moment rewired the entire AI industry around NVIDIA's software stack, and almost nobody noticed at the time. Fast forward to today. CUDA isn't just code. It's an ecosystem with over 4 million developers. Millions of lines of optimized libraries: CUDNN, TensorRT, NCCL, Megatron. Every major AI framework, PyTorch, TensorFlow, JAX, is tuned first and foremost for NVIDIA hardware. When OpenAI trains GPT, it runs on CUDA. When Anthropic trains Claude, CUDA. When Meta trains Llama, CUDA. When Tesla trains its self-driving models, CUDA. The chips are interchangeable in theory. The software is not. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the moat. Now let's talk about the challengers, because they've tried everything. AMD has the MI300X, on paper, a beast. More memory than NVIDIA's H100. Comparable compute. Sometimes cheaper. So why isn't every AI lab switching? Because porting a model from CUDA to AMD's ROCm software stack is like translating Shakespeare into a language that's still being invented. Bugs. Missing operators. Performance regressions. Engineers at major AI labs have publicly said the same thing: we tried AMD, we gave up, we went back to NVIDIA. Intel's gaudy chips? Same story. Technically capable, ecosystem nightmare. Intel literally discontinued the gaudy roadmap in 2024 to pivot strategies. That's how brutal this market is. But here's where it gets really wild. Google saw this coming a decade ago. They built their own AI chip, the TPU, Tensor Processing Unit, specifically to escape NVIDIA's gravity. And Google has world-class engineering talent, infinite money, and full control of their software stack with TensorFlow and JAX. Did it work? Partially. TPUs power Google's internal workloads, search, Gemini, YouTube recommendations. But here's the kicker: even Google Cloud customers overwhelmingly request NVIDIA GPUs, not TPUs. Why? Because their developers know CUDA. Their codebases are built on CUDA. Switching costs are astronomical. Google has effectively spent $10 billion building an alternative and still has to buy billions in NVIDIA chips every year to satisfy its own cloud customers. Then there's the geopolitical dimension, and this is where it gets explosive. The United States has banned NVIDIA's top chips, the H100, H200, B200, from export to China. Beijing's response? Pour over $150 billion into a domestic semiconductor industry. Huawei built the Ascend 910B. SMIC pushed into 7-nanometer manufacturing despite being banned from the most advanced lithography machines. China is fighting hard. But even Chinese AI labs admit that without CUDA, they're rebuilding the entire software ecosystem from scratch. DeepSeek, Baidu, Alibaba, they're all racing to optimize for Huawei's chips, but the talent pool, the libraries, the tooling, all of it is decades behind. NVIDIA's moat isn't just commercial. It's now a national security asset for the United States. And here's the part Wall Street is finally starting to understand. NVIDIA isn't selling chips anymore. They're selling entire AI factories. The Blackwell platform announced in 2024 isn't a GPU. It's a rack-scale system. 72 GPUs interconnected by NVIDIA's proprietary NVLink fabric, cooled by liquid, sold as a complete unit for around $3 million each. NVIDIA also owns the networking layer through Mellanox, which they acquired for nearly $7 billion in 2020. They own the switches. They own the software orchestration with Base Command and AI Enterprise. They've become the Intel plus Cisco plus Microsoft of the AI era. All in one company. Margins on data center products are running above 75%. Let that sink in. For comparison, Apple's gross margin is around 45%. So who's the real winner of the AI boom? Here's the contrarian payoff I promised you. It's not NVIDIA the chip designer. It's NVIDIA the platform company. The CUDA company. The software empire wearing hardware clothing. Jensen Huang didn't build a better GPU. He built a religion, and every AI developer on Earth is now a devout member. Breaking that grip won't take a better chip. It will take a generational shift in how AI is written, deployed, and trained. That could happen. Open source projects like Triton, MLIR, and Mojo are trying to abstract away CUDA. But it'll take years, possibly a decade, and NVIDIA isn't standing still, they're investing tens of billions to deepen the moat every quarter. If you want to understand the chip war before Wall Street does, subscribe. I break down one geopolitical tech story like this every week.